Hello, I am here with Rex Wheeler, who is a choreographer who has created two pieces for Mid-Columbia Ballet, and we're going to do an interview with him, pre-recorded interview in lieu of our Friday Facebook Lives. So thank you for talking with us today, Rex. So could you tell us just a little bit about your background and how you came to be a choreographer and all of that good stuff?
Well, I'm originally from London. I was born in London, and I trained in England at Elmhurst Ballet School and the Royal Ballet School. I then did a short stint with the Slovak National Ballet in Eastern Europe, and then moving on to the Sacramento Ballet for 5 years, followed by Simeon Ballet, where I currently dance in San Francisco. So I've been in the States for a while, and I've been lucky enough to have a lot of choreographic opportunities with both Sacramento Ballet and Simeon Ballet. So that's how I have come to start choreographing.
So, how did you come to choreograph for Mid-Columbia Ballet?
Actually, I think it was 2 years ago that Mid-Columbia Ballet, along with all of the Pacific region schools, performed at the RDA Festival in Sacramento, California. And it was literally a block away from my apartment, like the theatre. So there was no way I was going to miss it. And so I watched, I think, every night, and I was really blown away by the company when they danced in Ashley Walton's Focal Point. I mean, the choreography in the ballet was outstanding, but obviously the dances were really, really good too. So I just, I sort of researched like who they are, where they're from, and I reached out to Deborah Rogo, who is the artistic director, and I just said, hey, I saw you guys perform and I thought you guys were awesome. Obviously I didn't word it that way, but I said, here's a link to my website and my choreographic materials. Could I be considered to maybe choreograph on your fabulous dances someday? And she said, yeah. So here I am.
Excellent. So, your first piece that you did for our company was Ember last year, and actually recently this week you were just working on that again. So, we'll be performing it in St. Louis for the Spring to Dance Festival, which is very exciting. We can talk a little bit about that later. So, what was it like to work on Ember, and what was your process like in choreographing that on the company?
Well, I'd never actually worked with the company before, and the piece that I'd seen them dance was a little bit more contemporary. I don't think it was on point. And so the piece of music that I had chosen with Ember was probably a bit of an ambitious piece of music. It was a piece by Bohuslav Martinu, his Piano Concerto No. 3, and a bit of a complicated piece of music. So I don't really know what made me feel brave enough to do that, but I was like, well, these kids are smart and talented, so I'm sure we'll make something happen. So it really was mostly musically inspired, this ballet, and after working with them for a few days, I could pick out different personalities and different attributes of the different dancers, and so we were able to go from there and create a structure based around a solo for this person, a duet for that person, a trio, or a group of 5 ladies or something like that. And the ballet kind of grew from that structure. And within it, the choreography I'd always had in mind that this music and the feeling that I wanted to go with it wanted to embody ember, like a sort of fiery heat that is sometimes simmering, sometimes sparks, and sometimes gives off smoke as well. So with those two things, I guess, married and became Ember.
Yes. And we performed Ember last year at the Regional Dance America Pacific Festival in Phoenix. And we'll be performing it again. We're one of the only pre-professional companies to ever be asked to perform a piece at the Spring to Dance Festival in St. Louis this year. So we'll be performing Ember, Rex's work, which had an amazing response. It was very successful at the festival. And so this year you choreographed another piece for us called Silly Kiss. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So I knew I wanted to do something completely different to Ember. especially as it is the same company and most of the same dancers are still here and in that ballet. I also had just finished choreographing a ballet that was a little bit more serious, a little bit more poetic and romantic, and I really wanted to do something different to that specific piece too, for Central Pennsylvania Youth Ballet. And so I thought, well, let's just do something fun. I've always wanted to do something to ragtime music, or something loosely inspired by the Roaring Twenties. And I was really in love with this one particular album, and all of the tracks came from this album. I can't remember the title of it off the top of my head. But I also just heard in the music, specific characteristics within each one, and I could imagine, again, a solo here, a trio there, or something like that. But because I knew these dancers and I'd worked with them and I knew that most of them were still here, I kind of envisioned certain faces to certain parts of the music that I knew would kind of pick out on their individual sort of little characters or personalities. So this was a little bit more choreographed around the dancers, more inspired by them than Ember. Ember was a little bit more of an aesthetic that we were going for with the music and the vision of Ember, but Silly Kiss was definitely like an opportunity to kind of play with the characters in the room. So definite contrast, and it was so much fun to work on.
Yeah, it's a little bit more lighthearted and kind of just fun than Ember, which is beautiful but very intense.
Yeah, it's a total different vibe.
Yeah,
it's like,
So where do you think you would like to go next as a choreographer, and what kind of pieces maybe are you interested in doing that you haven't done yet, or?
It's funny, whenever you finish a ballet, I always think I'm out of ideas, I don't know what to do next. Every single time I'm like, well, that's it, that's all I've got, I don't know. But I think, I guess in long term, I just want to keep doing this, what I'm doing, just the opportunity to choreograph on schools, companies, or organizations is just really awesome. Like, there's nothing beats it, really. It's just such a fun job, and the more I can do that, the happier I'll be. But I'd also love to. I've collaborated with other people once or twice, whether it be visual art or a composer, and there's something about that offers a new set of challenges. You don't have as much control sometimes. You can't be a control freak as much. You can't micromanage everything. But it's good. It opens your mind up. It forces you to ask different questions. What can we do? So I think I would love to continue to collaborate with other people more. But yeah, as I said, both composers, visual artists, designers, costume designers, anything like that. It's a lot more fun than doing it by yourself. So.
Well, we hope that Rex will continue to choreograph for Mid-Columbia Ballet. We love working with him, and he's created 2 wonderful pieces, and no doubt we'll have more in the future. So thank you so much, Rex.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.